Welcome to Ophiuchus Tarot. We are back again with another channeled message for the collective. But before we jump right in and get started, I just want to take a moment, say hi, and welcome to new subscribers. I am so happy to have you on board with us. Thank you for becoming part of the Ophiuchus tribe. As always, it is an absolute honor and blessing to read for each and every single one of you. That being said, we're going to jump in. Let's see what Spirit has in store for you all today. Just kind of wanted to clean out the deck, clean out the energy here between the collective and the cards here, so we get the most important message channeling through. Oh, I like to see that. Okay. So we've got the Three of Swords in reverse. So on the mend is what I want to say. Let's see. All right, I get it. I get it. So, I really love this. We'll get there in a second. So we've got the broken heart, we've got the Sun in reverse, and we've got moving to a greener shore here. What this is kind of telling me is the Sun in reverse is never a bad thing. It's just a lesser happy than you could have been, right? And that may be something that you're feeling right now. You're not happy, but you're happy, right? It's like things are good enough. They're not as good as they could be, but they're good enough. I feel like this broken heart has been on the mend for quite a while. I feel like you put in the last puzzle piece to your healing process. And that is your forward movement, right? Making those steps towards your greener shore, wherever that is for you. It could be in business, it could be in relationships, it could be a physical move. Some of you might be making, moving across town or moving across the country or moving to a different country. I don't know what your level of move is, but I do kind of feel like it's time to heal it up the rest of the way, right? With this Emperor at the bottom here, I do feel like you are stepping into your own power more fully. I feel like you're coming back to self. So I want to say, if at all in this past here with this heartbreak, you were not feeling like you were at your full strength or you were in control as much as you could have been, you may have been making decisions based on what someone else wanted versus what you wanted. I just feel like there is a way to self-focus here that is in a healthy way. It's maybe for you, or maybe for you and those immediately around you. I just feel like you're stepping back into your power. You can speak your truth. Your voice doesn't shake, or it won't. You may have been dealing with someone who is a little bit on the sneaky side. Maybe your move was a little bit on the sneaky side, or you're moving away from whatever this is. You may have snuck out, taking your ideas with you. So for some of you, this could be a business thing. For others, this is a relationship thing, right? It could have been breaking away from family. Maybe there was a toxic dynamic there that caused some sadness. Could be for some. Yeah. With this Tower in reverse, I just kind of feel like you're able to get back your stability, or to find that stability just that much faster, right? I feel like your rebound time this time around is a lot better. I just feel like you've gotten stronger and stronger with every blow. Does that make sense to you? Every time someone tried to knock you down, or this person or this place, your bounce back time got smaller and smaller and smaller. And I do feel like there is a sense of power here. So the good that you wanted from this situation, normally this energy is slower in getting wherever it needs to go, but I feel like that stability never arrived in this situation. So you maybe never felt like it was ever going to solidify into something more real, or it was ever going to give you the opportunities that you were wanting from it, right? Like I said, no matter what it is, whether it's work or a relationship or family matters, right? It just wasn't giving what you needed it to give you. And you made that executive decision there with that Emperor to create great change in your life. I feel like cat's out of the bag now with the High Priestess in reverse. It's like maybe people know now what your plan is, because it's very obvious, it's out there. You weren't sneaking around. You were just doing what you had to do in quiet to secure your brand new beginning, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just kind of feel like, I don't know if you were moving in the shadows exactly, but maybe a little, maybe a little. But I feel like you needed to do that to kind of secure your peace. Look, you're going towards a 10 of Pentacles lifestyle. I don't know if you're creating this by yourself or for someone in your family. Could be you and someone close to you, could be you and your child. I just kind of feel like there could be other family members around helping you secure your stability or build your stability. I just kind of feel like if it's not, and it's just, I hear me, myself, and I, right? I do feel like you will create that stability and longevity, and it will pull in new for you, something long lasting, right? So I just feel like you've got better up ahead. You've got 10 of Pentacles up ahead for yourself. I feel like there is some sadness or on the tail end of sadness as you create your brand new victory. Look at that, the Star in reverse. You know, the way I see this Star in reverse is your wishes, hopes, and dreams are within grasp. It's not something you're reaching for anymore. You've got it in your hand and you're ready to run with it, especially with this victory here. I just feel like things are within reach now. Sometimes we have to step away from certain things or certain people in order to have what we deserve. Sometimes there are what we call, I'll call it a blessing blocker, right? It could be a certain relationship, it could be a certain job, and it stops you from reaching your full potential because spirit needs you to make a great change, right? So you make that great change, and on the tail end of it, you see that things are going to start moving in a better direction. Maybe it's not the happiest it could have been with that sun in reverse in the beginning there, but I do feel like eventually it will turn into your happiness, right? Sometimes we have to cry a few tears, shed a few tears as we make changes. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, a lot of times those tears, they clear our vision, right? The emotions that come out with those is a clearing, and I think your energy needed that clearing, right? You know, you're okay to stop and think about what you actually want. I want to say, don't keep racing forward so hard and so fast that you're not making those clear decisions for yourself. I feel like there comes to a point where you don't have to run anymore. And I feel like you've finally gotten there. So I do want to say, slow down, make your well-informed decisions. You don't have to rush or jump into something, right? Take your time. I feel like you have that opportunity now to take that time and decide what you actually want in your world. If you see that you don't have any real plan about what you want, it's okay to slow it down and think about it until you're illuminated with what you actually want. I feel like you've accomplished one part of it, but now there's that blank canvas, right? Your decision. What do you want from here? Build that beautiful vision, and then you can start racing right towards your future. But I want to say, don't just go from here making erratic decisions, right? You don't need to do that. Spirit's saying you've run far enough and fast enough. Now you can breathe. Take a moment, right? Figure out what you want. I feel like you know what you don't want, and so it becomes easier to see what you do want. Let's see. What else do we have here? Yeah, I just feel like it's okay. And I want to like kind of further iterate. It's okay to not know what you want in a single moment, right? It's okay to take your time and think about it. It's okay to say, I'm not sure. Let me think about it, right? That's okay. I feel like you need to hear that, because I feel like the energy almost makes my hand shake. So it's like coming out of a harsh situation. And it maybe takes some time for the nervous system to calm down. Give yourself that time. I feel like you'll be so much happier that you did, because you won't dive into something maybe before you're ready, or it might not be exactly what you want and you've already committed to it, right? So take your time. You've got time. That's what Spirit's saying. You've got time to sit in your emotional fulfilled energy and make that well-informed decision about the things that are going to fill you up in the future, what you're going to want personally in your heart space. I feel like where you're going, you're looking to become the fullest, wholest version of self, and that's going to create such a beautiful life for you. So I want to say, go easy on yourself. I know it's hard, especially if you're coming out of a situation. I just feel my hands shaking, or I feel upset, my heart rate's too fast, right? I feel like Spirit is saying, give your physical body time to calm all the way down. That calm will help you really see with clarity, right? Let's see, is there anything else Spirit wants to tell the collective here? What is important? What's important for the collective to know? You don't have to take something that doesn't feel right for you, right? Sometimes you get offers of emotional love. Just because it's there doesn't mean you have to take it. Sometimes, I just want to say, sometimes you need the alone time. Sometimes you need the time to figure out who you are, and what feels right for you. I want to say, take that breather before you hop into something romantic, I want to say. I feel like Spirit is advising you not to jump from person to person to person in order to heal. Spirit is almost kind of saying, sit with yourself for a little while. Learn to love things about yourself. Like, really tune in and tap in with your deepest emotions. What do you want? I feel like this may be the first time in a long time that you're asking yourself that. You don't need somebody to fill the void. You can be whole all on your own. And that's what Spirit's saying. From there and only there will you make the best decisions about what you want and need, right? I feel like you just don't need the extra something clouding the vision just yet. I want to say, become this whole version of yourself. And the right things, you'll become more attuned and step into more fuller of an alignment with what is actually meant for you, not just what's available to you, but what's meant for you. Does that make sense? I hear much love. I feel like you need a big hug. So big hugs to you. If you're going through all of these changes, making big moves in your life to sort of recreate yourself and find out who you actually are. I just feel like there's something here about self-esteem as well. And it is rebuilding yourself back up, knowing your value, knowing your worth, and then adding tax, okay? Big energy here. Spirit wants you to become the biggest and best version of self, because from there, Spirit's got a whole lot planned for you. So many new opportunities for you to choose from. It's not just one thing that's coming in your direction. It will be a great many things for you to build from there in your power. So yeah, it's okay to leave your emotions out of things while you're going through a healing process. It's okay to say no to other emotional situations while you're trying to build yourself up. You need to focus on number one right now. And healing number one will help not only you in the future, but everyone around you will benefit from you being able to give the best version of yourself, right? So yeah, Spirit's saying it's okay to hold back while we do the healing process. It's okay to not be okay until you're okay, right? That's how you build your strength. I feel like little by little by little, step by step by step. It's not something that just happens, bam, overnight, right? It takes effort and energy and time. And Spirit's saying, you've got time. We're giving you time, right? I want to say, these these words that were spoken in the past, since this is in reverse, this Five of Swords, these words that hurt, that cut, that sting, right? Maybe you feel like you could have said more, or you should have said more, or maybe you wish somebody would have fought to keep you where you were, whether it was at a job because they saw your value, or in a relationship because they saw what you were trying to create. They saw your vision, right? Or they saw your heart underneath of it all. Why? It's like, I wanted to say why there were rules, if that makes sense to you. That's what it is. I wasn't going to say that, but it came out. I want to say those words that were spoken in the past, that were said to hurt, cut, maim you, are not the truth. And I feel like the time that you give yourself to see with clarity, you'll be able to unravel these things that you took to heart, and maybe started to see yourself that way. It's like you took someone's negative opinion or negative view of who you are, and after experiencing it for so long, you adopted it and just decided to believe it. No, 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 no. We're not doing that here. You need to know who you are. That's why Spirit says take the time. Take the time. It's super important. You'll be able to lick your wounds, which everybody does from time to time. It's not a loss, especially not in the long run. It's not a loss. It is an epic win when you get yourself to a point where you are whole and happy all on your own, right? Somebody's opinion of you is not who you are. Whose opinion matters? Yours, right? The way divine sees you, maybe that matters to you, but your opinion is what matters, right? I want to say, take that time. Is there anything else? I know we've got a beautiful healing process that's getting ready to take place, or you've already stepped into it. I feel like I hear on the precipice. So for a lot of you, you're just stepping into this. You're just allowing that nervous system to calm down after maybe a really rough cycle for you, right? I want to say, don't make rash decisions. Try to do the healing work. Like I said, if you need to cry, cry it out. It will really clear that vision, right? I want to say, for some of you where this is a person, sometimes it's okay for, I want to say, make it okay when people don't love you the way you want them to. Not everybody has that ability to do that. Not everybody has the ability to see you clearly, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't see yourself that way, right? With love and with clarity. Again, I want to say big hugs to you, wherever you are. Big squeeze. All right, let's see what we've got here. Is there anything else that the collective needs to know? Anything else? So we're talking about a healing process here. We're talking about a healing process, stepping into your own power and becoming that strongest, most beautiful version of yourself. It takes a little time. It's not an overnight thing. Enjoy the journey, right? I want to say, you don't have to rush to the destination to be happy and proud of yourself. Every little step is something to celebrate. Start doing that for yourself. Start, it's like, it doesn't have to be a major milestone before you celebrate your movement, right? It can be that baby step that was really hard to take. Sometimes they are. Sometimes the smallest nudge in a new direction is something that takes all the energy out of you. Learn to recognize that, right? It takes a lot. Yeah, I saw something about, yeah, for some of you, this is maybe a marriage, the breakdown of a marriage, or a long-term relationship. This could be something that involved legalities for some. I hear the justice system, so for some, it's not out here, but I hear it, so I'm going to spit it out there. Let's see, anything else? I want to say it's going to be fair. It's going to be just, is what I want to say. Yeah, I just feel like you're going to get what you need. I heard starved of your energy. I feel like somebody felt your absence, or a place felt your absence before you even left, right? I just want to say, I feel like there's going to be healing on both sides of the coin. I just feel like if this was a place, they'll learn to recognize next time the value in a certain worker, or the value that people bring to the table while they're there, right? It's not something that has to be seen in retrospect. It's something that should be seen in the now moment. We should stay present, right? And see the gifts that people have to offer as they're in front of us, right? So that's a learning lesson for everyone around, right? They might not recognize how much you did for everyone around you until you're not doing it anymore. And then they realize that their workload is double or triple what it was before, right? So they didn't appreciate you, but that's their learning process, right? Everybody's learning something valuable in this, and you too, right? You're learning how to heal yourself and not accept less than you deserve, right? Now, for some of you, there was a breakdown of a relationship, and maybe both of you really need this time to heal. Both of you really need time to grow and expand and dive deep, right? To become the best version of self. Now, I don't even know if this is going to be a permanent separation. What I can tell you is there will be a lot of growth. There'll be now for some of you it is, and if that's your situation, that's fine. Only take what resonates and toss the rest. If it's not for you, leave it out here on that board. It's for someone else, okay? But for those of you where this was a really sad thing, a really hard thing, and there's still love there, but there was not enough kindness and compassion to kind of float this or tide this into the future. Some growth, some expansion, some deep dive energy, some healing may just bring this back together in the future, if that's what the two of you might be looking for when that time comes. So maybe this isn't a permanent thing. Maybe this is just, I need to grow over here, you need to grow over there, right? It's an agreement, right? To kind of separate and calm things down. Maybe this is just like we need space kind of energy. It doesn't mean it's forever for some of you. Now, for some of you, this is your forever thing. This is you stepping towards your new life, doing your new thing. I hear you never quite know where it's going to go or where it's going to lead, right? The future's full of surprises. So never say never is what I hear. But I do feel like there's one thing that I'm sure of. There is growth and healing and you stepping into your power. I want to say no matter what side of the coin you're on here on this reading, if someone walked away from you and they're doing their healing work, you should also be doing your own, right? It should kind of drive you to want to heal parts of yourself and create that stronger, more powerful version, a healthier version of self, right? We're supposed to learn from our rough experiences. We're supposed to take those lessons learned and apply them to the future. Don't hesitate to do that. That's part of life. That's a beautiful part of life. A painful one, but a beautiful one, because it leads you to where you need to be or where you're supposed to be, right? And sometimes it's back with the person and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's in a new direction. I just feel like the good that's going to come from this is going to far outweigh the sad or the heavy that you're experiencing right now, or the nervous system turmoil that you're experiencing. Some of you, your hands will stop shaking a few weeks from now. It's going to take that long for you to go through a point to where your nervous system can calm down. I don't know if you've just been in fight and flight mode for a very long time. Sometimes that happens, and it can happen in certain places. Like it could be a job that was so stressful that it takes your body that long to kind of, or your brain that long to communicate with the body that it can finally relax. That's done now, right? It could be a relationship that's done that to you. I feel like that's how you know. If you're running around and you're constantly arguing or fighting, I just feel like the space and the healing is so good for you. So good for you. Okay. You might not see it right now, or I just feel like it's going to become very clear soon enough with that moon in reverse. Things come to light. I feel like it's a healing situation for all involved, right? I do feel like things will get better as well. I want to say no matter what side of the coin you're on, if this is a relationship, I just feel like you and your past person will find a way to back to health. And I want to say back to creating stability and longevity in life. And I feel like this version of you specifically couldn't come without this tower, right? I want to say we're on the other end of the tower. It's time to rebuild. Is there anything else? You may have loving communication come through, and I want to say after some of the healing process goes through, maybe it'll be easier to speak to, like if this is a family thing and you had to go move away from a family member, maybe there was too much drama or too much, I just feel like that healing period and that time apart creates the opportunity for happy, healthy, loving communication in the future. More clarity. I want to say there's a humble energy that comes in here on both sides, right? And I feel like only that comes with growth. Is there anything else, Spirit? Anything else? Look, you're not in your power yet. You're not your most vibrant version of self. Try not to bite back. I want to say, try your best not to bite back, because I feel like it'll just go back and forth, and you want it to be this healthy communication, not this arrogant, I'll bite you if you bite me type of energy. I just feel like it's not going to get anybody anywhere, right? I don't know if there were people from the past, like maybe it was a workplace friendship. Maybe this person was somebody that you really trusted in. They may have some nasty things to say about you, or they may spread some nasty rumors. The best way to counteract that type of energy, if that's something that's going on here and it's like a workplace thing, or a friendship thing. It could have been a friend group that you had to walk away from, that you had to kind of rebuild yourself back up. Maybe they made you feel small. You could have been the group's punching bag, right? Which I hate to say, but sometimes that happens, right? There are just certain people who can never really respect you and what you bring to the table. They will after. But I want to say, the best way to deal with nasty behavior and nasty energy like this is for you to just do your own thing, stay in your own lane, don't bite back, don't step down off your throne, keep on building yourself, stay self-focused while you're doing this healing process, and the truth will speak for itself. It always does. So this person will be biting and gnawing at you while you're not even paying attention. Who's going to look bad? Certainly not you, right? So a lot of different ways that this could have, I feel like somebody's going to be having sleepless nights and shedding tears. It could be both of you for a little while, both of you carrying the burden of something breaking down, if this was a friendship or a relationship or a marriage, right? But yeah, there might not be an opportunity now, but if you do the healing work, look, that river of tears, you cry over those cups. I just feel like, yeah, look, you were dealing with soulmates, and maybe with some growth and healing, things can come back in for those that want that. Now is not the time to race forward without thinking into experiences that you aren't ready for. Look, I'm just going to keep on going around and around and around and around, and I'm catching myself before I do that. Spirit says that you have new opportunities no matter what you're coming from. The healing process is the most important part of this reading. You can have it all heading towards the future and make the best well-informed decisions for yourself about what you want. Whether you want to open the door back up to certain people or certain experiences will be entirely up to you. There's no shame, no guilt, just you stepping forward into a healing process that is absolutely necessary, right? You're going towards a greener shore. And you may not be the happiest right now, but you're on the mend. And I love that for you, collective. Big hugs, big hugs, big hugs. I feel like this could be a stressful time for some of you, or you're coming out of a very stressful time. All right. I want to say lean on those who love you. If you have a beautiful support network, don't be afraid to speak up, speak your truth, and be embraced by those who love you. Quicker healing process, right? So do what you can. If you have a friend who could listen or hear you out, just so you could bounce ideas off of, or get things straight in your mind, do that, right? Reach out. It's okay to do that. I feel like it's not just okay. I think for pretty much everybody, it's necessary to speak these things that are kind of stuck within the self. It creates that energy movement, right? And then with that energy movement, what happens? You're able to move physically forward, right? All right, we've got a couple standing up. So we've got an E, first, middle, last name, an N, first, middle, last name, and an L. All right, let's see what we've got here. I heard TNT. I just feel like certain experiences maybe got explosive as far as anger or words. Could have been violence, physical, which I don't love. I just feel like there's never an excuse to put your hands on anyone, but it could have been that way. It could have been very volatile. So I feel like in those types of situations, create your space and do that healing work. You might get an apology eventually, but I feel like maybe things are, I just want to say necessary for growth is the quiet, right? I want to say everybody, oh, excuse me, everybody needs to heal. I don't know where that came from. Let me take a sip. Oh, I have coffee this morning. I forgot to drink it. Okay. What a horrible thing. Coffee should never go to waste. I heard something about a coffee date. You could meet up with this person on a coffee date further into the future. And it doesn't have to be coffee. It's a very low expectation type of relaxed environment. It's not an uptight type of thing. And I do see a healing in the future. And I want to say the bridge that was burned can be rebuilt, and maybe sometimes in a different way if it's a family member or I want to say an ex-partner. I want to say maybe there's children involved. For some of you there are. I want to say which kind of requires you to be able to communicate more easily with each other. The healing process needs to happen first. But I feel like later on in the future, the two of you might be able to have a better experience just as friends, right? Maybe the relationship part of it is not the look, right? It's not the thing. The two of you will have to decide that. I want to say be careful about the medicines that you may take. I want to say be careful if there are things that you are indulging in that are not the healthiest. I was hearing that song this morning, High Road. So yeah, I hear a little too much of something terrible. It's coming back in. So I was wondering why I was hearing that song this morning. So I hear precursor to the energy. So it's, what I'm kind of getting here is someone may be indulging in things that are not the healthiest for them. Think twice before you go down a road that is, I want to say rougher traveled or not easy to get off of. I want to say do your best to jump into the healing in a healthy way. Try not to use substance or toxicities to numb versus facing it head on. Yeah, it's gonna hurt, but I feel like sometimes we have to let things hurt, bleed, and then heal, right? I want to say definitely find the healthiest of ways to heal for yourself, because I feel like you deserve that. You should be kind to yourself, right? So careful with substances. I want to say too much of any overindulgent type thing can be very, very dangerous. Spirit's warning to stay on the up and up I want to say, if at all possible, to avoid that. It could lead to very, very dangerous experiences. I'll leave it at that. Your imagination can figure out what spirit needs to get out there. I don't know if this situation has pushed somebody over the edge as far as mentally. I want to say reach out and find somebody to talk to. Mental health professionals, there's nothing wrong with it. Let's break the stigma here. Let's further break that stigma down. Anybody and everybody could use somebody to talk to, period. There's nothing wrong with it. It's so common nowadays. It's so common. If anything, it speeds up the healing process, okay? I hear a long time coming. So you may feel like whatever just happened, that tower that happened in your life, it was a long time coming. I hear enough is enough. And I feel like somebody just got to that point where, or maybe two people got to that point. I hear it's time for fun. It's time for fun and lightness of energy. And I feel like maybe everybody needs that, a little bit of that. If you're going through that healing process, maybe you should find something healthy and happy to kind of dive into. Maybe it's a hobby, right? Maybe it is going out and experiencing new places, right? Maybe it's making new friends or getting in touch with old friends, right? Yeah, I hear the caduceus. So it is all about the healing process. That's that medical symbol about healing. So I'm seeing Raphael, so the angel. So with the green light emanating from the heart space. So the heart healing is absolutely necessary. And I feel like it's happening, whether you fight it or you go with the flow. But I feel like Spirit's just saying it's easier to go with the flow. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. The message is so strong. And I tend to do that sometimes, but I just figure I'll let you know. All right, what do we have, Spirit? Anything else? Is there something they can look forward to? Or what's going on here? What do we have here? There was something I saw, but I don't know where it went. Okay. Oh, I'm not surprised to see the angel there. We were just talking about the angel and healing. Oh, look, more angel wings. Yeah, Spirit is saying, do not be afraid to dive deep with the mermaid here. Oh, look, you've got so much angelic love and crossed over loved one type energy. We have the monster house here. So for some of you, whether this was a place of work or a home or an environment that you were living in that was not healthy and it was turning toxic, Spirit is saying they gave you the key to get out of the house for now, to heal that. And I want to say the healing comes through the inner house. So dive deep. You've got a lot of divine on deck rooting for you as you do this healing work. If this was a relationship, I want to say this opportunity is here for both of you. I want to say it doesn't matter which side of the coin you're on. Yeah, look, there are two keys, two people getting out and exploring a healing process. There could be love in the future for some of you. I just feel like there may still be love there, but maybe sometimes the toxicity outweighs the love. I want to say if there was something with substances that maybe got in between two people or created problems, it could have been too much drink, too much partying. I feel like the healing process that goes along with this person in this stage could be something that opens up the road in the future. I just feel like it's like, I hear it's healing older wounds. So not even ones that they accumulated with you, collective. It's previous wounds, which creates that stronger foundation for this person to build upon. I feel like this is necessary. So I want to say that for whoever it's for. Sometimes we have to walk away still in love, right? And I feel like that's one of the hardest things to do, is when you still love and care about someone, but you know it's not healthy, right? It could be a friendship, doesn't have to be the relationship. Could be somebody that you've loved since you were little. You've had this, could be a family member, and the bond was really strong and then it got toxic, right? And it could have been outside substances that really created the rift. And I feel like somebody needs to realize that as well. So that's for whoever it's for. Yeah, there is this sort of comfort that's coming in, and I want to say it's either being offered by spirit or it's being offered by those around you, and I feel like you're really going to experience that. What's that say? Angel therapy. I'm seeing this symbol, and I'm also seeing it on the side of a deck of cards, and I just was kind of drawn to it. I do want to say the angels are I want to say you're fully surrounded in this moment. I feel like they're buoying your faith in life, in yourself, in your abilities to do certain things. I don't know if this was really like it crushed your drive, and it crushed your, like, the confidence you had in yourself. Spirit is saying you're stronger than you think. So the angels are around you, or divine is around you, and they're handing over that healing vibe. So you may find that you just feel a little lighter, or you feel like it's bearable, right? I just feel like allow people to take care of you. You might be the one who's always taking care of everyone else. Allow others to gift you with the same energy. I always had a problem with this in the past. It was always really hard for me to accept someone helping me or loving me back. And then I had kind of gotten the message the one day that I was actually harming others by acting that way. And the way I mean it is, it harms their self-esteem or their ability to connect with you if you don't allow them to give back to you, right? They feel like maybe what they have to offer isn't good enough because you don't want to accept it. And you're thinking that you're helping this person. It's one less thing that they have to worry about doing something nice for me, right? But you're stopping this person from experiencing the same happiness that you get when you help someone else. So allow others in to love you and to help you through tough times. You're allowing them to really bond with you as well. So I'm just going to put all of that out here today. Big hugs to you again, collective, if you're going through this. Look, I know today's message is not going to be for everyone. You can hop back in time anytime on this channel. Find one of those descriptions that feels right for you. Hop in. It could be just as real for you in this now moment as it was when it first came out, right? So that's what I have for you all. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to become part of this Ophiuchus tribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.